A man lifted a heavy boulder and hurled it into the bottomless pit. I hid at the bottom, covering my son's mouth in terror, but the faint sound still aroused suspicion. To eliminate us completely, the man decisively cut the rope leading to the surface with his knife, leaving us to die. My son and I were trapped in a desperate situation. At the bottom of this pit, dozens of meters deep, clinging to a thread of hope, we endured 3 days and nights of torment. With no word from my husband, I decided to risk everything. I tied a thick log to one end of a long rope, trying to wedge it against the pit's edge. But with my limited strength, I came so close to succeeding. The injured boy struggled to help me, and through our combined efforts, the log finally caught on the rocks above. My son insisted I climb up first, while he curled up at the bottom waiting for rescue. I began the arduous climb up the slippery rope, my movements labored. Halfway up, I was already gasping for breath. Worse, the rope swayed violently and the supporting log suddenly slipped. I crashed back to the bottom. Yet, despite the pain racking my body, I bit my lip and fought to control my breathing, trying to protect the baby in my womb. But just then, torrential rain began pouring outside. Muddy water rushed into the pit, and I quickly moved my son to higher ground while I remained submerged in the freezing water. After too long in the water, my abdomen began cramping. Heaven showed no mercy to us, mother and son. The rain intensified, the water level rising relentlessly. My husband was now racing toward us through the rain, killers hot on his heels. Finally reaching the pit's opening, my son and I screamed for him to hurry, but looking back, the killer was already behind him. He had no choice but to keep running. 2 soldiers who arrived later discovered me and my child. They glanced ahead, then decided to deal with my husband first. By now, the rainwater had risen above my head. I groped desperately in the water for higher ground, my feet already purple from the cold. Finally, I found a rock and stood on it, my head barely breaking the surface. Watching the relentless downpour, I gripped a nearby stone pillar with fierce determination, then took a deep breath. I couldn't let the baby freeze to death in my womb. I had to deliver this child immediately. After several frantic efforts, the baby was successfully delivered underwater. As the infant's cries pierced through the sound of rain, before I could even catch my breath, trapped in this pit of despair with 2 children, danger lurking and ready to strike at any moment, I could only place my hope in my husband.